So let's go back for a minute to this thing that I'm talking about today, about how I feel that yesterday was a kind of turning point where I think people are going to see, these guys think that nobody can see them, and they think there is nobody who matters who sees them. They don't care if they see them out in Ohio. They think as long as they can win that state by 2 votes on election day, they don't care. But I think that they have covered themselves in so much shame. And this thing that they're doing with this Russia conspiracy, which I now really believe is a complete boondoggle. I thought what Andy McCarthy said was right. But here is Hillary. Listen to this. I mean, this is a woman who I think is having mental difficulties. This is an interview she gave to sympathetic interviewers where she started talking. Here's a note that tells you, this is from Fox and Friends. They put it out today. Everything Clinton, these are the things that Hillary Clinton has blamed for her election loss, okay? I'm just reading this off the page. The FBI, James Comey, the Russians, Vladimir Putin, anti-American forces, low information voters, everyone who assumed she'd win, bad polling numbers, Obama for winning 2 terms, people wanting change, misogynist suburban women, the New York Times, television executives, cable news, Netflix, Democrats not making the right documentaries, Facebook, Twitter, WikiLeaks, fake news, content farms in Macedonia, the Republican Party, and the Democratic Party. These are the people she has blamed. There's only one person missing from that list, as far as I can tell, and it's Hillary Clinton. Now, here she is talking about this conspiracy, and if she doesn't sound like Alex Jones to you, this is how did the Russians know how to wrong-foot her like this?
How did they know what messages to deliver? Who told them? Who told them?
Yeah.
Who were they coordinating with or colluding with? Because the Russians historically, in the last couple of decades, and then increasingly, are launching cyber attacks, and they are stealing vast amounts of information, and a lot of the information they've stolen, they've used for internal purposes, to affect markets, to affect the intelligence services, et cetera. So this was different because they went public, and they were conveying this weaponized information and the content of it, and they were running, there's all these stories about, guys over in Macedonia who are running these fake news sites, and, I've seen them now, and you sit there and it looks like a, sort of low-level CNN operation. And
or a fake newspaper, like the Denver Guardian.
Like a fake newspaper. And so the Russians, in my opinion, and based on the intel and counter-intel people I've talked to, could not have known how best to weaponize that information unless they had been guided.
What I love about this, all conspiracy theories are like this. I'm a very anti-conspiracy theory, but they always have this, how is it possible, that the steel in the World Trade Center could melt just because heat strong enough to melt steel was in the, how is it, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, how is it possible that Seth Rich just happened, like Antonin Scalia just happened to die during the election just because he was an old man with heart problems? It doesn't make any sense. So she's saying, how is it possible the Russians could possibly have known what information to put out, as if anything is secret in this country. Is there anything secret? I mean, is there any, even our intelligence services don't keep secrets anymore. So, how could they not have known? How would they not have known? Anybody would have known. If Donald Trump people knew how to, his campaign people knew how to put out information, then the Russians knew. There are no secrets in this country. It's ridiculous. But the thing is, I really do believe that the woman is cracking, but people crack along their fault lines, We all crack. When stress makes us crack, we all crack along things, cracks that are already there, old scars and things like this. And she has always been like this. Play clip 9. Here she is over time. We can see it.
The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
Do you still believe there's a vast right-wing conspiracy?
Don't you?
I'm asking you.
Yeah. It's gotten even better funded. They brought in some new multi-billionaires to pump the money in. And look, these guys play for keeps.
So in the first cut, she's talking about this vast right conspiracy trying to make people think that her husband is cheating on her. So now she has new information, right? She knows her husband. Let's say she didn't know before. She did, but let's pretend she didn't. So now she knows her husband was cheating on her. She knows there's no vast right wing conspiracy. It's decades later, and she's still talking about it. So this is obviously an idea fix, the thing that is stuck in her mind. And as she cracks, it's becoming more and more like, how could they possibly have known, what the voters wanted to hear? But the thing about it is she's not going insane alone. The entire left is going nuts with her.